Welcome to episode 5 of our first time healing in World of Warcraft. In our previous episode, we did time walking dungeons in Cataclysm, fully completed heroic Amia, got lucky with loot, and more loot, and more, and a lot more. But our luck finally ran out as we actually depleted our first key, stopping our winning streak at 1831 mythic rating. So let's see how we do this week. Will we reach Keystone Hero or will we fail? Let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode on Soothdebbie. Currently his item level is 468 with a mythic rating of 1831. If you watched the previous episode, you will have saw we ran out of money to repair on our items in front of tides. So our first job on the to-do list is to get some gold so we can repair. I think next time we do this challenge I won't buy crafted gear, as at the beginning of the challenge I had 11k gold. Then I spent all the gold on materials for crafted wrists, which are now one of my weakest item level pieces of gear. It would have saved me a lot of money in the long run, and I would have had plenty of money for repairs. Oh well, you live and learn. I first go to the Emerald Dream for the main weekly quest you can obtain. Luckily I still have a token from last time, which gives me 2500 reputation, which finishes the quest immediately. Finishing the quest gives me a Splintered Spark of Dream, Drake Crest, Dragon Owl supplies, a cape, and most important thing, 1500 gold. So now I can actually repair all my gear. Repairing is so expensive, I've never noticed it till now. Let me know in the comments if you think it should be cheaper to repair your items, or if you think the blacksmith profession should make it free. Now that sounds like a really good idea. Blizzard, you should implement that to the game. After our repairs we sign up to a group to kill the world boss. The only thing I really hate about killing the world boss is just the lag. Just too many people for one boss in my opinion. For loot we just get gold. Next I did some dragon round races. These actually give you just over 500 gold each, which is not really that bad for 5 minutes work really. Whilst doing all these activities in the Emerald Dream, I have planted 5 seeds along the way for the weekly quest. I did not receive any gold for this, but I did get some nice transmog. I think I've accumulated enough gold now to survive and repairs for a while. Now that we have finished collecting a bit of gold, we can now search for our first dungeon of the week. The affixes for this week are Fortified, Volcanic and Spiteful. Our first dungeon we get accepted into is a 12 Everbloom, as I have not done this yet on Fortified. So completing this dungeon will give us quite a few points and it will be a nice little warm up. Luckily the group was not summoning yet, as I actually forgot to open my weekly vault. Let's go and see what we got. This week's vault we got the Farak hero weapon, waist and hand tier piece in the raid section, and 2 chests and a mace in the dungeon section. Now the only thing in the vault catching my eye is the Farak hero weapon. I do have a champion version, but I think this will be a great upgrade for me. But I will double check it by simming the vault. And the sim actually told me to take the Farak weapon. Well, that was a nice easy pick for this week. And we also get 16 Galacon's Fall. I have now had the Farak weapon drop 3 times for me now on this one character. First it was Veteran, then Champion, and now Hero. I have been so lucky on this character, I'm actually not far off on best in slot on all of my items. Let's go over to this Everbloom and start this dungeon. The group comp for this dungeon is Demon Hunter, Monk, Rogue for DPS, and I actually got my first Prop Warrior tank. I was thinking this spec was going extinct. I don't see a lot of people playing Prop Warrior anymore. Come on everyone, let's show some love for Prop Warriors and bring them back to being good again. The Everbloom went really well, the tank did some good pulls but nothing too crazy. Dealing with Volcanic was not bad either, I did get hit a few times but nothing really to worry about until it does more damage in higher keys. We complete the dungeon which we free chested, got 69 points and a new shield for loot. We don't actually need the shield as we already have a best in slot shield from Nimue, but I will have it for transmog and gold. We teleport back to Valrakan and search for our next dungeon. Now the keys that I need for this week for the most points are Arise and Galacon's Fall, which I have only done them both in a 9. So I will search these 2 dungeons and see what's available. We get accepted into a 16 Muzon's Rise. The group comp is a Mage, Warlock, Demon Hunter for DPS and a Demon Hunter tank. We start the dungeon off to a good start. I'm healing and doing a lot more damage now also. I'm now starting to understand how much I can heal with just one cast, so if I feel the need to, I will use my damage abilities to help the group out. As always, our first boss is the Gauntlet. Will be completed this time. And wouldn't you believe it, for the first time on this character, we completed the gauntlet. That's it people, challenge over, we have officially completed the game. Nah, I'm just messing with you, we still have a long way to go. The rest of the dungeon went well. There were some points where I was thinking I needed new pants, but we still managed to get to the final boss, Chrono. At the beginning of the fight, I actually forgot to stand in the circle where the orb was coming down to slow it down, which caused us to take 2 orbs at once. Thankfully, it doesn't wipe the group. I definitely need to work on standing still as a caster, it's definitely my weakest point. The last phase of the fight wasn't bad either. I'm a lot more confident in doing it now as a healer. At the beginning I really hated that phase, but once I got used to it I actually really enjoyed it. We finished the key with 5 minutes left and 3 deaths in total, not bad really. After we head to Galacon and head to the upgrade vendor, as now I have around 900 flight stones and I have accumulated a lot of crests. First we upgrade our veteran ring, which is our weakest piece of gear, to item level 444, our best in slot trinket to 470, and hero shoulders to item level 483. Our next key we get accepted into is a Galacon's 417. I have a close call at the beginning of a dungeon. On the first pull a spiteful ad spawns on me. I do not realise it's there, I get hit once, and then the ad does a spinning attack on one random player, which is me. But luckily I step out just in time. Now that was close. Come on Shax, pay attention more to what's going off. The only thing I hate in 45 week in Galacon's Fall is the ads before the second boss. Does anyone think the same, or is it just me? This area alone causes the group to have 4 deaths, but I've seen a lot more. Not bad really to say it's a pain to do. Another mob that does a lot of damage in Galacon's Fall is the Risen Dragon. The amount of damage these guys do is insane. I reached 297k healing just on this alone on the healing meters. After dealing with all these horrible mobs, we finally reached a Ridicron. And I think it broke the healing meters. It said it had 1.33 million healing. I think it was because we was in Chroma's shield and it gave me a little bit of a buff maybe. But that doesn't matter, it still makes me feel like a pumper though. After I broke the healing meters, we kill a Ridicron and finish the key. And we also achieved Keystone Master. Now we only need 462 more points and we have completed the challenge. And we loot the chest and get hero legs. And again, we don't actually need this, so we're just going to sell it. We return to Galacon, and at the minute, Lovers in the Air event is live for Valentine's Day. So let's go to the dungeon and see if we can get the very rare mount, the Love Rocket mount. I think the drop chance for this mount is like 0.01% for it to drop, so it's extremely rare. And unfortunately, we don't get the mount, only gold and love tokens. Next, we get accepted into a 16 Atal Dazar. The group comp is a mage, hunter, paladin for DPS with a demon hunter tank. The first pull we do is the mobs when you go left of the dungeon. These mobs are really tough on 45 week if not kicked properly. The fire they put on the floor is a lot and I'm having to spell players just as much also. Fortunately, this group does not kick them enough, causing the group to wipe twice. But we managed to beat them after our 3rd attempt. I've said this multiple times, I still think Fortified is a lot more harder than Tyrannical. Having to learn mechanics for each mob pack in dungeons is a lot, and the amount of damage they do is just insane. After our rough start, we actually get to Yasma, and on the first pull, we kill her, timing the key which we 2-chested. When I achieved Keystone Master, I actually forgot we received an item in our bag which lets me pick up a piece of hero tier from the vendor in the Emerald Dream. While picking the item, I actually nearly get confused as one side is PvP and the other side is PvE. They need to put in big writing across the top of the column for each set, PvE and PvP, because then an idiot like me won't get it wrong. Luckily, you guys in stream tell me it's the left side, so I take the hero chest piece. Before we go in our last dungeon of the night, we head to the upgrade vendor once more and upgrade our ferrite weapon to 483 item level. Our next dungeon we get into is my highest key yet. We get accepted into an 18 Black Rook hold. The group comp for this dungeon is a Demon Hunter, Death Knight and Paladin for DPS with a Paladin tank. We lost the first pull, taking the first 2 packs of mobs. DPS do a lot of damage and are pumping the damage meters. We have 6 deaths, but we still managed to keep the pull going and finish them off eventually. The next obstacle is the spiders on the stairs. Now the tank actually said to me what he was going to do with them, which helped a lot as positioning is everything on this pull. You can easily line of sight your fellow players, making it not easy to heal them or dispel. With the tank actually doing what he said he was doing, we kill the spider mobs very easily. Next, a tip for you guys when you fight Ilisana. When she does the bee mechanic that follows you around, just don't move and jump on the spot. You won't take any damage and you won't have any stuff on the floor for you and your fellow players to worry about. After 22 deaths and only 1 minute and 51 seconds left on the timer, we timed our first 18 key, which I was so proud of myself for doing, and I've come a long way in a short space of time. It has only taken me 5 weeks to get where we are now, and that is just insane. Before we get into the rest of the video, if you would like to see more of our healing journey, you can watch me live on YouTube and Twitch. The link for Twitch is in the description of the video. Also, all the other episodes of Sudaddy's 0 to Keystone Hero Challenge are on a playlist for you to watch on my YouTube channel, just so you can find all the episodes in one place. Anyways, back to the video. The next day we come back on Sudaddy, and it's time to try and attempt Heroic Amia again. Hopefully we get in a good group again and get all the way to Farak. We start looking for a fresh Heroic group and we get accepted into a group pretty quick this time. I think it's mainly because we actually completed the whole raid last week. So when we sign up, people can actually see on raid.io that we actually know what we are doing. The group count for the raid has 5 red paladins and 5 warriors. I think we have enough melee. Don't you think? The first boss is Gnolroot. We defeat him with ease and roll a 12 on a hero waste. And for some strange reason, we win the waste. I did not think I was going to win that at all, but hey ho, I'm not going to complain. The next boss is Agira. In this fight, quite a few players died, but we managed to pull it off and kill him. We roll for 2 male shoulders and we win one of them. We don't actually need the shoulders, but they're pretty nice transmog. After the fight, I'm looking at the healing meters, and the other 2 Resto Shamans are doing a bit more healing than me. So I check in details a lot more, and it seems they're doing a lot more chain healing. Unlike me, I'm doing more Riptide. The reason for this is I'm using the Riptide build, unlike these 2 players are using the Chain Heal build. In my stream, a few of you mentioned Chain Heal build is better than the Riptide build. So with you guys persuading me, I was willing to give the Chain Heal build a go. We copied the Chain Heal build from Wowhead and continue to Volcross. So the difference with Chain Heal build is it buffs chain healing, making it bounce to another additional player. Also giving you 2 other talents to use, Unleash Life. What Unleash Life does is it heals a friendly target for 266% of spell power, and this increasing the effect of your next healing spell. Riptide, Healing Wave or Healing Surge by 35%, increased healing. Chain Heal by 15%, increasing healing and bounces to 1 additional player. Healing Rain or Downpour affects 2 additional targets. Wellspring, 40% of overhealing done is converted to an absorb effect. The next talent is Mana Tide Totem. Summons a totem at your feet for 8 seconds, granting 80% increased mana regeneration to all allies within. This build will be more mana costly as you're using Chain Heal a lot more. That's why you have Mana Tide Totem, so you can regain more mana back. What I think I'm meant to be doing as a rotation, looking at this build and talents, was use Unleash Life off cooldown, then Chain Heal as it gives 15% increased healing and bounces to an additional person. So Chain Heal bounces to 2 extra people with this build. Let's see how we finish on Volcross. We kill Volcross with me doing 123k healing, which isn't bad to say I've just switched builds. And my best in slot ring drops, but unfortunately we don't win the roll. Next we face Lardar. We get to the second phase, but we are very tight on room. And with all that low room, it doesn't take long for the group to be overwhelmed and wipe. I release, and on the way back to Lardar we upgrade our hero waste we just got to 437 item level. After upgrading our gear, we take a long walk back to Lardar. Do you think we should respawn on the boss that you die on, or do you prefer it how it is now? Let me know in the comments. On the next pull, the tank dies, and so does the second tank die on the first phase, causing the whole group to die. And again, we take a long walk back. While running back to Lardar, I don't realise I'm on 50% health, and do the jump down from Volcross to Lardar. Hit the wall and take a bit more fall damage than what I thought I was going to take, and die. Well, this is embarrassing. I don't really want to release and run all the way back again, so I kindly ask the other Resto Shaman if he can res me. Thankfully, he comes to rescue me and res me. If you're watching this, my fellow Resto Shaman, thank you. We face Lardar for the 3rd time, and again the tank dies, causing the raid group to wipe again. I'm not a tank expert, but I think that there's something wrong here. After that attempt, the raid group disbands and we return to Valdrakken. After that pull group, I didn't really want to find another group and try again for raiding. So we set off to the training post, as now we have fully completed our monthly requirements for the monthly bonus and traders tender. I head to the portal to Ogrimmar, and it doesn't seem to be working. And now I feel stupid. I forget that my character is Alliance. and that's why the portal is not working for me. We take the right portal to Stormwind, and we arrive at the trading post, and we acquire the Love Witch's attire, which is the monthly reward, which we put on Suv Daddy straight away, and then we go on and buy the Fur Friendship Pink Fox mount to go with it. Blizzard, you did a great job with this mount, definitely one of my favourite Valentine's mounts that you have done so far. After the trading post, I realised that I'm short of gold again, so we go and do another world quest for some quick gold. We do the Dragon Expedition world quest, where we fly on a hot air balloon and receive 600 gold for completing it. I think it's time to get some Mythic Plus done now. I try and find a group for Everbloom, as that is my lowest key I have completed, which is only a 10. We sign up for an 18 and we get accepted and summoned to the dungeon. The group comp for this dungeon is a Paladin and 2 Hunters for DPS, and a Death Knight for tank. The first pull the tank does is a bit strange. He only pulls one pack of mobs at the start. Usually the tanks that I have had in this key pull the first pack and more at the bottom, and we lust on Fortified to kill them quickly. We kill the first pack of mobs, then the tank is really taking it steady. He is just pulling one pack at a time. We reach the second boss of the dungeon, where they place puddles on the floor that you have to move out of. Usually range stack together as well as melee, so the puddles stack. Unfortunately, I die from bad positioning and have to go through the puddles to get out and die, which causes the group to wipe. At this moment, the group is on 24 deaths and with 8 minutes left to time the key. Let's hope the rest of the group wants to continue even if we don't time the key. The next attempt on the second boss, we do better and kill them. And after a few more deaths, we finally reach the final boss. We get to the mechanic where you're supposed to walk over the flowers so they don't turn into ants. I start running over the flowers and don't pay attention to my own health, causing me to die, and the group later. I really thought the group was going to disband now, but no, they wanted to continue. We went back to our second attempt and we killed the final boss. Obviously not timing the key and with a very high 4-1 deaths. But at least we completed the key and got a few points. And again, after the dungeon, I need to do more world quest. I think all those deaths really hurt my coin purse. I wish I never bought that crafted piece of gear at the beginning of my journey in the Dragon Isles. I would have had plenty of gold left. We fly to the Waking Shore and do a dragon race and the one in Aurora Plains also. Hopefully now I should have enough gold to do one last key. We get accepted into an 18 Waycrest manor. The group comp for this dungeon is a Mage, Hunter and Demon Hunter for DPS and a Druid tank. The dungeon goes pretty smoothly for an 18. Everyone is interrupting and using their abilities correctly. The tank is not pulling like mad and he's not pulling steady like the last tank. We do wipe on the third boss, Lady Waycrest. At the beginning of the fight, we don't completely clear the room before we start the fight, leaving one mob alive. But that comes back to haunt us, because of course, the hunter of all classes to pull an extra mob pulls that one mob left, which makes him move away from the mob to the other side of the room. Whilst the mob is targeting the hunter, he doesn't notice volcanic affix is underneath him, causing him to take damage from both the mob and the affix, making him die. Then the mage takes huge damage, making me not concentrate on my own health, making us both die. And later the rest of the group wipes. We release and head back to Lady Waycrest, and this time kill the last mob which was left before. This time we will kill Lady Waycrest with no mistakes or pulling extra mobs. That's a lesson for me also, always clear the room no matter how far away you are from extra mobs. After Lady Waycrest, we reach the final boss and kill him, timing the 18 Waycrest manor. And for loot we get our best in slot ring. I can't believe my luck on this character. Suv Daddy's loot is a lot better than my main character. I nearly have all my best in slot items. So with that being our last dungeon of the night, Suv Daddy is now item level 472 with a mythic score of 2233. Hopefully if we do well next week, we will finish the challenge. So with that being said, that's this week's video. If you've watched it all the way to the end, just want to say a big thank you. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, so I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and comment on the video on any advice you can give me to improve a bit more of being a better healer. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Suv Daddy or any other challenge videos that we do. But anyways guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.